What's really going on here, folks? What is really going on? It's funny to me, all the bullshit that's coming out today, and while what's really amusing and is are we just being like, are they just blowing smoke right up our ass or what here? I mean, honestly, I want to share this with y'all. Let y'all watch it. It's unbelievable. We've been really paying attention to what's going on, me and Dragonflies, and staying on top of it. We've been hearing a lot of bullshit, and y'all been hearing a lot of bullshit. And it's funny how Eagle Pass, for the last 4 or 5 days, not one illegal was around. Oh, there wasn't any passing through. Then all of a sudden today, because the governor's coming, all of a sudden there's children lined up against the fence. It looked like the most staged event I've ever seen in my life. But hello, everybody. I'm on one of those rants today because, gosh dang it, son of a bitch, somebody. The thing is that, when we really boil this down, when we really take a look around this country at what's going on, there's a certain governor in Texas. He will not denounce a three-letter agency, but yet he wants to blow smoke up everybody's ass. This is the biggest smoke and mirrors. And as they have us watch the border, they are saying that none have come across from Texas. Well, they haven't come across from Texas, really. Me and Dragonflies just watched about 14 staged ones up against the fence, and they had them take off their shoestrings, and they told other live streamers to step back. They couldn't be there. But yet, CNN and some of the other mass media was there. Yep, I believe exactly that is what's going to occur. But let's listen to some of this bullshit for a minute, and I'll be right back on. Jesus, Lord help us. Volume. Somebody give me a 10 by 10. We got volume. Can you hear it? You got any volume, folks? No volume? Tell me if you got volume. Right now, they're not really talking. You can't really hear anybody.
Let them all loose across the entire country with no ability to accurately determine their whereabouts or what they may be doing. Because of this, we've seen the catastrophic consequences of Joe Biden's open border policies. Over the tenure of Joe Biden, we've had three Houstons cross the border illegally, all time records. And we see the dangers every single day. Just to recount a few that happened just this past year, the Texas Department of Public Safety, they arrested an MS-13 gang member who was on the terrorist watch list. Know this, there are people on the terrorist watch list that are apprehended all the time coming across the border. These are people who pay extra money not to be caught. The United States of America and the president do not know how many people have crossed the border illegally who are on the terrorist watch list and have never been seen. They do not know the imminent dangers that we may be facing. Another example is, once again, the Texas Department of Public Safety. They arrested somebody who came across the border illegally who had served in the army, in the military for Iran. Why is this person here? Why were they trying to sneak in illegally? What were they going to try to do? We were fortunate to be able to apprehend him, but who knows what would have happened had we not apprehended him. And then you see the deadly loss of life. We saw it just outside of the Houston area last year when we saw an illegal immigrant who had come across the border illegally 4 times murder 5 people outside of Houston, Texas. These are crimes that don't happen now and then. These are crimes that happen all the time. Part of it is because, as set forth by the Texas Department of Public Safety, we have people who are coming across our border who were released from prison in other countries. There was a person who was apprehended who was wanted for rape charges, another who was wanted for murder charges. There's extraordinary danger, imminent danger, crossing our border all the time. And of course, Americans are not going to soon forget what they saw happen in New York City, where we saw illegal immigrants brutalize and beat up police officers in New York City, only to be immediately released on bail back out on the streets, causing no one knows what level of mayhem because of the extraordinary dangers that the state of Texas is sustaining, as well as states across the country. And because Joe Biden has completely abdicated and abandoned his responsibility to enforce the laws of the United States. I have used a clause in the Constitution that empowers states to defend themselves.
There we go with the spin out. It is unbelievable. I want to pull forward to this part here. Y'all got to hear this bullshit. I think it's this lady right here. We are. Why all of a sudden do they care so much about the border? The damage is done and it's being done every single day. Now all of a sudden we care. We care about what's happening. Listen to these people.
Because of what we're happening. When you think about the amount of fentanyl, human trafficking that's coming, they're coming to every state in the country, and every governor's having to deal with it. And we're standing with Governor Abbott today because if our border is not secure, our country is not secure. And Joe Biden's policies are making our country less safe. And that's what we're here documenting today and standing with Governor Abbott that's trying to do something about that. We just had a great briefing. There's been 169 people in 2023 that were on the GBI terrorist watch list apprehended. How many of those are in our country that we didn't, or Governor Abbott's people didn't apprehend? 458 million lethal doses of fentanyl that have been detained at this border. Think about the doses that were not. Every governor's dealing with that. $51 million in cash, 56,000 pounds of methamphetamine that every state in the country is having to deal with. This is ruining lives in our states. It's ruining our communities, and it's taking a toll on our families. And it is time that something was done about this. And that is why we are standing here as governors, making sure.
Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Okay, it's been going on, and now all of a sudden, it's really been going on for 3 years. Like it's escalated beyond belief. But now, today in 2024, folks, they give so much. They give a rat's ass about me and you. They want to do something. That's right. They want to secure the border. The damage has been done. They just, quote, he just said, this quote, 100 and some, 168 has been apprehended, but yet there's still 400 and some that are loose in our country that are on the FBI watch list. You cannot go to any country and walk across the border and say, howdy doody, here I am. But only in America, give us your broke, give us your lazy, give us your illegals, give us your crime infested people to bring them on over and cause chaos here. We are in a spiritual battle of good versus evil. We are in these people up here in DC, all of a sudden they want to show up. Oh, happy duty. We're here to rescue the day. You ain't rescuing shit. People are getting killed. People are on fentanyl. People are coming across the border getting $9,000 a month off the American taxpayers. And you think you're here to help us? Oh, well, shit. Oh, my goodness. Well, sorry, Melissa. Hit the bell and make sure you hit all. It is the Trojan horse with laying within our own borders by our own government. That's exactly what's occurred. That's exactly what's happening. And, how is it that the trucker convoy shows up? There's no illegals, not one in Eagle Pass. You couldn't have seen an illegal if you tried to scoop up underneath every porch and deck and behind a car and under the shed. But now all of a sudden this morning, it was such a stage. If that's not staged, how many of you seen it? How many of you believe that it was staged? They had about 11 young people out in front of the fence, and they had them out there and they told them to remove their shoestrings. And the ladies were just smirking, just smiling like, you dumbasses. You know, maybe they're going to well, maybe they are. Maybe they're going to accidentally put that razor wire up around the border just in time to keep us locked in instead of locking them out. Hey, you never know. You know, oh, you need to get a real ID. No, we need to get a green card so that we can get $9,000 a month. But, sooner or later, this is the thing, folks, sooner or later, the money's going to run out. The money's running out in the United States. Yeah, exactly, Barb. But sooner or later, the money's going to run out. As all the treasury bonds are coming back into the United States, this is becoming a huge disaster. And who did it? Who did it? Who started all this? Who's let it just continue? It when old Trumpy Trump was in there and he was fighting for the border wall, everybody was against him. Everybody was against him. It's not that big a deal. Nothing's going to happen. Let it be. Now, as enough fentanyl is coming across the border that could take out over 100 million Americans. Boom. What is there? 400, 380 million Americans? Yeah. That's what they're getting, $9,000 a month off the American taxpayers' back. Let's listen to this gaslighting BS a little bit more.
That gets done. Every state in the country is depending on Joe Biden acting. And if he does not, then we will continue to do so, and we stand with Governor Abbott and what he is doing. It's now my honor to introduce you to Arkansas's Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders.
Thank you. Glad the wind picked up just as I stepped up here. I would have gladly borrowed a hat, but they all have the wrong states on them. So thank y'all for coming out today. Obviously, I think by the strong showing and the sheer number of governors that are stepping up across the country, it's very clear that this is not just a fight that Texas is having. This is a fight that all of us have to engage in. Put very simply, Joe Biden has completely failed at one of his most basic and important duties as the president. He has failed to protect our borders and protect our people. Not only has he failed at his job, but he's been dishonest about it. He's trying to pass off the idea that somehow he has no ability to do anything to fix it. And Congress has to step up. When every single person knows he could make changes and steps right now, today, to help secure our border and protect our country. Yet he simply refuses to do so. And because of his failures, Governor Abbott is having to step up. Governors from across the country are having to step up and do the job of the federal government because they simply won't. I'm proud of the fact that we have strong leaders like those of us that are standing next to and behind me. Because of them, our country will be safer, our people will be better protected. And we don't stand with them in football, but I can tell you that Arkansas is most definitely standing with the state of Texas when it comes to protecting our border. There is no fight right now that is more important for us to engage in. It's why we're spending our Sunday afternoons here, because we have to, because it is absolutely vital to the long-term safety and security of our country. I'm proud of Governor Abbott's leadership, and I'm proud that I get to stand with each of these incredible people as we pledge to support Texas in whatever we can do to help. Arkansas sent National Guard troops here last year, and I can commit today that we'll continue to do that over the course of this year as much as we can and as much as is needed until the federal government and Joe Biden step up and do their jobs. We're here and we're thankful for your leadership, Governor. With that, I'm going to turn it over to my good friend, Governor of Montana, Greg Gianforte.
Thank you, Governor. And let me start by saying Montana stands with Texas in this fight. The governors here have repeatedly called on the Biden administration to step up and do their job. Most recently, in a joint letter, we asked for the names and identities of people that have crossed illegally into this country. That request was met with silence. It came on top of a letter that
Hold on. He said he wants the identity and the names of the people that have crossed illegally. Hold on. If I'm sneaking into y'all's house, right? If I'm, huh? But right, but like the numbers are fudged. People, come on now. If you're really sneaking across the border and it's so sneaky, then why do they get ankle bracelets? Why do they get a 10-year out? Somebody actually showed their court date 10, 11 years out. Why are they getting a 10, 11-year out? And then also, James, you're right. Why will he not denounce or say no, he does not, when they severely, more than one reporter has asked him to say no, he wasn't involved with them. But he will not say that. Because see, folks, they're in this big huge club. And the big huge club is that, get all the people running around so that we're enslaved. Enslaved. Doesn't matter what color your skin is. They want us to all work for them for a little bit of nothing. They want everybody to be relying on the government so that we have to say, please, could I have another loaf of bread? Could I please have an egg, just one egg for this week? Would you let me have a hamburger? Could I actually work a job that I enjoy? They want us to be so reliant on the government. See, what we need to do is kick out all the bureaucrats, kick out all the red tape. We need to start over. The United States needs to start over. Is it possible? I don't know. I think that we're at the tipping point we are at the point that this country is going to be categorized as a third world country. People are going to be mandated and shoved around to do what exactly the elite want us to do. It is definitely, and you will. You're going to be so happy, Truthful Troll. And Huga, you're right. Homeless Americans, but yet we're putting up housed illegals in $500 a night. $500 a night. And now all of a sudden, New York and California and other states that are these sanctuary cities are saying, well, we don't know what to do. Could the government give us some more money to help with this situation? We never realized it would get this bad. If you can't control the current citizens, well, maybe then they can control the newbies. Yes, exactly, because the newbies are going to be so excited to have that loaf of bread. And, this, who isn't sick of this shit? You know, hit a one in the chat if you think that we're being totally gaslighted by both sides. See, I think what they want to erupt is a major civil disobedience. So they got to stir the pot. The Republicans over here, the Democrats over here, everybody get angry. Everyone get angry so that we can have the civil war inside the United States, the second civil war. But see, folks, this time it will not be a civil war like the 1800s. No, no, no. It won't be the North versus the South. It won't be the government versus the people. It'll be the people versus the people. It'll be the people versus the illegals versus the people. And we won't know who's on what side. And in return, what do they get? Oh, they get less of us. Less of us. Yeah, the tent revival just caused other areas to get flooded. Exactly, Kentucky. And they're bragging down here at Eagle Pass that, well, they've stopped it. They've stopped it. Now, I'll tell you this, a big, huge shout out. What's his name? JLR Investigates. big huge shout out. He's been on the line. He's been getting hammered by border patrol, and he's a great. He's seeking the truth, and he said, "What is going on here?" They had about 11 young kids. Four of the young men, boys. Of course, there was no middle aged men in this little posse against the fence. It was young boys and girls and a couple elders. And he said, why all of a sudden are they here when no one has been here? Yes, JLR investigates. Check him out. Tell him OTWP off the wall prepper sent you over there. Great guy. And Oreo Express has been covering it. But even with the people that are covering the border, right? Even with the people that are covering the border, there is so much animosity in these channels that are covering the border. You know, people are saying, well, there's a pedo that came into the convoy, and there's a this and there's a that. And oh, I mean, it is crazy what is being said. You know, I think that this is the biggest, well, let's just blow smoke up your ass. That's what we're doing. These people have already came across the border. We've been watching the crime rate on Off the Wall Prepper and OTWP report for a year. We watch the crime rate escalate. We are watching crimes of all sorts, hamburger meat and steaks getting bob wired and locked up in grocery stores, OTC meds getting put behind the cage because if you could come to America, you can commit a crime. We just had the boys in New York, illegals that beat up a police officer. We had another one that is a his father works for the Israeli government. So he is, what do you call it? He has immunity when he commits a crime. So a police officer tells him to stop. What's he do? He runs over the police officer. But oh, does he have to go to jail for that? No. Did he have to give a bail? No. He just gets to walk out the door because you're special. You know, just because a police officer asks you to stop and you run him over, you're fine. Go on out the door. Isn't it called attempted murder or attempted is come on folks. But that's okay. That's okay. Because your father is in the government. We're just going to let you walk out. There's two sets of laws. And the laws they got and the laws that we got are totally different. But I'll tell you what, why? And just like the ones that beat up that elderly police officer in New York as they walked out with illegal immigrants, proven, flipping everyone off, flipping off media, and basically saying, kiss my ass. Also, another report just came out. They couldn't figure out why New York's crime has went up. And many of the New York criminals that are illegals they're getting their IDs and they're checking them, and they're from Florida. Well, why won't they mess around in Florida? Why aren't they committing those crimes in Florida? I'll tell you why. Because in Florida, you're not going to get out and walk the lucky street and be happy after you commit a crime. But in New York, you commit that crime, that same crime, you get out and you walk the street the same day on your own reconnaissance, basically where you don't have to pay bail. I might screwed up the word, but anyway, it is unbelievable. Yeah. Yeah. And today they're signing a big immigration bill. But see, every time they do a bill, this is what's really interesting to me, is every time they do a bill, they slide in another, oh, let's aid Ukraine. Oh, let's aid Ukraine. Give Ukraine some more money. So there's supposed to be a new bill coming out today about immigration. Isn't that obviously nice? On February the 4th, 2024, on a Sunday, they're going to come out with this new bill. And at the same time, we have, these wonderful governors down there, and they're just fighting for the people. They love us so much. Oh my God, sickening. Sickening. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, truthful troll. You would be buried under the jail. Yeah. And the interesting thing that Dragonflies is pointing out is not only were they laughing, not upset, they looked they looked like they just stepped out of the hotel room and let me go down for my photo op. Everything's good and hunky dory. Let me just go down there and get my photo taken. They weren't dirty. I'm going to tell you this from my heart. When I had my company in Colorado, I had some gals that told me they came across that dirty ass river. And they told me what a struggle it was, and they told me what happened to them on the way just from their place in Mexico across the river. They could not afford to come across at that time in their life. Great women, I'll tell you that, hard-working women. and they did come here illegally, her and her sister, but they came because they wanted the American dream. They came because they wanted to be citizens, and they finally, after they went and turned themselves in, they became legal citizens. They love this country as much as we do. I have no problem with anybody coming here legally. What I got a problem with is all this gaslight and bullshit, all the fentanyl coming across the border, all these illegals that are coming in, all this staged, in my opinion, bullshit that we're seeing right before our eyes. They're blowing smoke up our ass. It's smoke and mirrors. It's gaslighting. It's the Trojan horse being set up right within our own borders. That's what I have a problem with. That's exactly what I have a problem with. Yeah, yeah, it is. I mean, shit, I need a new pair of Nikes. Come on now. They come across, and I'm telling you, these 11 that were standing up against the fence had brand new flannel jackets on, black and white checkered flannel jackets. They all had nice pants on, nice jeans on. And for some reason, they kept holding the little boy, his face down so that people wouldn't see him. But the other boys were just standing there like, well, we're just waiting. We're just waiting. It is unbelievable. Yeah. No, it's not going to be good, Elaine. We're going to talk about that tonight on OTWP Report. Um, let's listen to some more. Let's get some more smoke blown right up our ass. Here we go.
That shared a 10-point plan to secure the border. That was 3 years ago. We're still waiting for a response from the White House. Montana has had our soldiers here on the southern border for most of last year. And Governor Abbott, we're committed to stand with you and continue to provide resources so that we can protect the citizens of the United States and our country. This is impacting all of our states. In the Northern Rockies, where I call home, we've seen a 78% increase in fentanyl just in the last year, and we've lost lives, and it's broken families apart. We need to secure the border. Our states are being invaded by the people crossing illegally. Our Constitution gives the states the right to self-defense. That's what Governor Abbott's doing, and that's why we're here standing with him today. Biden is doing the exact opposite. He's working against the interests of this country, and we are here today to call on him, the federal administration, to do their job. Thank you for calling attention to this issue, and Governor Abbott, thank you.
Once again, I want to thank all the governors who joined with us today and all the governors across the entire United States of America who are standing with the right of states to assert self-defense. In furtherance of that self-defense, Texas is the only state in the history of the United States of America to build our own border wall. Texas has deployed our National Guard who bravely stand guard night and day, and they erect these razor wire barriers. The National Guard has erected more than 100 miles of razor wire barrier that serves effectively to deny illegal entry. And they have ensured that this entire park that we are in right now will not be an area that can be used to pass anymore.
Okay, it won't be used to pass anymore. Right, because now that you've let hundreds of thousands of them come through that area, I was looking at the crime report for Shelby Park, very small area. Very small area. Okay? Stabbings, murder, rape. Unbelievable what's come across that border and what's happened and what they've done to this little town in Texas. But why all of a sudden, oh, we're going to secure this part of Texas? Now, Yuma is having a huge problem, and so is California. But this has been going on for a long time. You know, when is it going to stop? It's just a bunch of gaslighting bullshit. They want us so pissed off, right? Yes, yes. And Melissa, this whole time he has been over in India pushing for all these new things for Texas, right? To bring more money into Texas. This is the biggest gaslighting bullshit ever that we've ever seen. And I'll tell you what, folks, It's not going back. They're probably going to erect that wall, and they're going to have that razor wire, and all of us are going to be like, let us get to Mexico, and we're not going to be able to go nowhere. We're going to be stuck in here. Because they're already within our own borders, and we're not talking a little sector. We're talking hundreds of thousands of them. And I'll tell you this, that's like having a branch of the military right in our own borders that doesn't care about us. Facts. They don't care about us. They're here. And how many of you, I mean, give me your thoughts. Why do you think they're here? Drop one line, one statement why you think they're here. Yeah, they're not here in for the American dream. They're not here even for the free handouts. They're here to help, in my opinion, to collect their asset. The Chia pets, all these people from the Middle East. Yeah, exactly. Revenge to take over. Yep. Yeah. Well, yep. Yep. Exactly, Melissa. Exactly. See, we bitch too much. We bitch too much. We've gotten away too much. We want more money because they keep taking more from us in taxes. They keep taking taxes every which way. Even when you're 6 foot under, they still want their tax money. They want to bring in new people that'll be like, you are so wonderful. This country is so wonderful now. I can actually sleep on a cot. I can actually sleep inside. I actually have some water to drink. It's Buddha water, but I got water. And I can have one of those Soylent Green cheeseburgers from one of those restaurants. And then on top of it, you're going to give me, oh, right now I'm just getting free money. I'm getting a free Visa card. Now, we were wrong about the cell phone, okay? The cell phone is only for ICE. That's so ICE can ping them. And they got to hurry in the morning. They got to get up. Oh, my phone got pinged. I got to take a picture of myself and let them know where I'm at. Hello. That's what they said. They're going to do that for 10 years? How much does a cell phone cost a month for 10 years? Just curious. You know? Yeah. They're taking resources from legal Americans and migrant immigrants who want to be a positive asset. Yeah, takeover. Yeah, the hole puncher. $9,000 a month free money. Yes, Mr. Willoway, step right up because you can get your free Soylent Green. I don't know, folks. I think that we are getting totally gaslighted. I know we are. Because why all of a sudden do you care? Oh, hot dog shit. I just figured it out. They care because it's election year. Oh, let me see how many people I can get in an uproar because this is happening, that's happening. Oh, Lordy. Yeah, yeah. I just figured out it's election year. It took me a while. I'm slow sometimes. Maybe it's the Soylent Green that I've been eating.
Area we are in right now was at one time not too long ago an area where there would be 3,000, 4,000, sometimes 5,000 people crossing illegally. Now that we've taken control of this area,
And if you gave a rat's ass, why didn't you take control of it when there was 3,000, 4,000, 5,000? You just said, come across the border. Oh, hold on a minute. Now that just came out of your own mouth. Why? Where were you when you should have been stopping the border? Where were you? What were you doing? Oh, you were in India. Oh no, you were at a meeting. Oh, at where? At the World Economic Forum. Oh, where else were you? Huh? Where else were you? Huh? But now you give a rat's ass. But there was three, four, 5,000 that came out of your own mouth coming in right there through that Eagle Pass. Now all of a sudden you decided you think you need to take control of it. I think you're right. I think this is to get the American people pissed off. I've been pissed off. I've been pissed off because I think that it's ridiculous. That I think that the country that we love, the country that we know, is gone. It's down the toilet. Somebody, somebody just flush, because it's already here. It's happened. There's no way. Oh, hi. Maybe KY. Maybe. Yeah. Unbelievable. Hello, Mark. Hello, Truthful Troll. Hello, everybody. It's bringing in the news collateral for further borrowing of debt, provide them license, SSN, and they get their fresh collateral. Very good point. Very good point. Yeah, yeah. The great grand reset. Oh, shh, you're not supposed to say that on YouTube. They're gonna put something on my channel now that takes you to Wikipedia so they can explain to you what that is. I had to go to a re-education program here on YouTube. I had to go get educated about what is and isn't allowed. And it was really a fun class. It took me all of about 15 minutes maybe. I passed with flying colors. I just want you all to know. I just thought I'd share on that great information that YouTube asked me if I'd take the class. I said sure. I took the class and I passed with flying colors. First, yes, it was re-education for YouTube. I feel much better now that I did it. I feel that I can bring you proper programming, without well. Okay, hold on. Okay, let's go ahead. Blow some more smoke up our ass. Go ahead.
For the past 3 days, there's an average of only 3 people crossing illegally in this area. The point very simply is this. It shows that the state of Texas can do what the federal government is charged to do and has the tools and equipment to do. The president is obligated by laws passed by Congress to actually secure the border and deny illegal entry. Texas has shown that we can reduce it to 3 people crossing across the border. Joe Biden, it is your turn now. Your obligation, your duty to follow the law Congress passed and secure the border just as Texas has. With that, we'll take a few questions.
The only reason you don't see immigrants right now here is Antonio from Univision. Don't you think it's because Mexico stopped everybody from entering Coahuila right now, and you don't see even nobody there right now? Don't you think it's
Let's be clear. Let's be clear about something. Don't fool anybody. We know that the people who control the migration across the border are the cartels. The cartels who extort money, who rape the people that they victimize before they come across here. The cartels are losing money trying to come into the state of Texas now. The cartels have rerouted their routes to cross the border because Texas is the only state that's putting up any resistance, despite the fact that Texas represents more than 60% of the land miles of the border. The overwhelming majority now of people crossing the border are crossing in Arizona and California, 2 states that are putting up no resistance to illegal immigration. If the United States under President Biden did in Texas, in New Mexico, in California, and Arizona what we're doing here, you would eliminate illegal immigration overnight.
Governor, don't say the border's open.
Would you restate the first part of your question again?
Your rationale for denying access to border control agents to this area showing targets 2.5 miles.
To be clear, from the very beginning and to this moment, they have access to the boat ramp and they have access to the razor wire area if anybody's life is in danger. On top of that, however, the area where we are is an area where the federal government was using to further criminal activity. They're involved in violating the federal laws of the United States of America on this land. We will not allow this land to be used for illegal purposes.
Governor, the Senate bill, Priscilla Thompson with NBC News, the Senate is poised to vote on an immigration bill this week. Do you think that could help you?
So I have no idea how to answer your question because I have no idea what's going to be in that Senate bill. And I have no idea if the House would agree with it. So your question actually is filled with unknowns. All I know is this, and that is the open border policies that Joe Biden has allowed can no longer be tolerated. He has the ability, as we speak this very moment, to take action to shut down the border and stop illegal immigration. Joe Biden does not need more legislative authority. He just needs a backbone to step up and do his job and secure the border.
You're sitting in front of a lot of armed men and
He needs a backbone. And what about you? Why wouldn't you deny your involvement in 2016 with the WEF? Why wouldn't you do that? I mean, I'm just asking. Uh-oh, Dragonflies, are you okay? Dragonflies wants to punch someone. Yes, yes. She wants to punch someone. Oh no, I have an angry Southern woman in my cabin. This is not good, folks. This is unbelievable. See, all of a sudden they care. All of a sudden they care. But they didn't care last year when they were coming across the border. He didn't stand up when he didn't stand up when they were all in Eagle Pass underneath the bridge. Do y'all remember that? I swear I seen that. I don't think I was hallucinating. I did see that, and there was so many of them. You know, they'll never. He has to keep his oath as a politician to lie continuously. Well, I think that's part of the yes, yes. Oh, yes, he is. He is. Yes. It's sad, folks. It is very sad. Yeah, the sound is in and out on the video because it's just the way it is. Yeah, dragonflies. Oh, Melissa, please don't egg her on. Shit. Don't, please. They are banking on the young ones. You're right, BH. You're right. And welcome to the chat, all you new people. Here we go. Let's finish listening to their gaslighting bullshit.
Women, you're with governors from many states, military vehicles. We talked about an invasion. What do you say to people? We've heard this from Republicans and Democrats, concerned that there's a civil war or some prelude to some kind of armed conflict between Americans. What would you say to people like that?
It's a false narrative, and that is really nothing more than a narrative. What we are seeking to do, and what we are actually doing, we're actually enforcing the laws of the United States of America. What Americans want, whether it be the border or whether it be carjackings in Washington, D.C., or police officers being beat up in New York City, what Americans want, they want law and order, and they want the laws of our country enforced. All we're doing is enforcing the laws of the United States of America.
Governor, how long will the park be under state control?
It's going to stay under control as long as it takes to maintain security and to eliminate crossings. I'll be honest with you. We could relinquish control of it tomorrow if Joe Biden were to step up and do exactly what we are doing here and stop people from crossing the border illegally. We have seen a president and his predecessor do exactly that. Joe Biden has every tool in his toolbox to make sure that he reduces illegal immigration as much as Texas was able to reduce it right here. In the meantime, let me add this. As we speak right now, the Texas National Guard, they're undertaking operations to expand this effort. We're not going to contain ourselves just to this park. We are expanding to further areas to make sure that we will expand our level of deterrence and denial of illegal entry into the United States.
We have time for two more questions.
A lot of people have said that things like this in an election year are just a political stunt by Republicans. What do you guys all say to that?
Say that to the average American. The average American is angry. The number one issue in the United States of America is the broken border and the illegal immigration that Joe Biden has created. We don't have time to wait till November. We got lives on the line every single day. Say that to the parents who have lost a child to deadly fentanyl. There's growing in number across the country. There are lives at risk every single day. It's like every police officer in every city in our great state that understands that they have a daily duty to make sure that their communities are safe, regardless of when elections take place. We as governors have that responsibility to make sure that our states and our country are going to be safe from the illegal immigration crossing.
Governor, I would just remind you too that many of the governors here were here. When was that?
Right,
a year ago. Way before the
Yeah.
campaign started on the same issue, writing letters to Joe Biden about how to fix the border, executive action that he could take. So this is not a campaign tactic. This is something that this group and the Republican governors have been concerned with for many, many months and years.
Right.
Governor, there are Americans living here on the border who say that sovereignty has been lost and that they're walking around in fear. And they feel that the federal government has failed them. What about you, governors? Are you going to be able to step up to protect their sovereignty and give them the right to be free citizens here in their own state?
And you're talking about the local residents in this area?
Yes.
So first of all,
Uh, I think the local residents around here are angry, and rightfully so, because their area, their neighborhoods, their golf courses, their shopping areas, all have been invaded. But I cannot tell you the number of ranchers and homeowners who live, whether it be here or in Del Rio or up and down this entire area, who cry and complain about their ranches being ripped apart, their homes being invaded, fearful about their children playing in the streets, all the car chases that are taking place in neighborhoods. This has turned into a danger zone for one reason. It was not that way 4 years ago. 4 years ago, this was an area of law and order, a safe area for people to golf and play and enjoy it. And that's because we had a president who was enforcing the immigration laws of the United States. Their property, their land, their safety, and their enjoyment of it can all be restored if we have a president who enforces the laws of the United States, as opposed to being hostile to that and being hostile to a state simply trying to enforce the laws of the United States.
What if the Biden administration doesn't take any action and it keeps standing up with the state of Texas? What are you going to do? And is the Declaration of Independence the only way, or what are you going to do?
So we will continue to expand our efforts. Our declaration is a declaration of our rights under the United States Constitution, Article 1, Section 10, Clause 3, that guarantees the right of every state that's either invaded or in imminent danger, which we are in imminent danger, to be able to exercise self-defense. Texas will continue to exercise that self-defense and expand the area where we are using that self-defense to make sure we are able to better protect our communities.
All right, two more questions, everyone.
Two. State law set to go into effect as invaders.
Say it again now.
Why brand mothers and children, civilians crossing between ports of entry illegally as invaders?
So I can't understand the details of your question. I'm going to answer it to the best I can. The fact of the matter is, if you look behind you, there are people crossing right now. They're crossing that bridge. A couple of things about that. One is that whether it be here, El Paso, Brownsville, or parts in between, there are thousands of people who cross back and forth every single day for work purposes, for visiting purposes, for tourism purposes, whatever the case may be. That's perfectly fine. What is completely illegal is for people to enter between a port of entry. Think about this astonishing fact. Under Joe Biden, a record number of people have died in this river right behind us. And they die in that river because they try crossing in that river. Why in the world don't they just go up a few steps?
What is he really up to? What is this guy? What is Abbott really up to? You know, we have to ask ourselves, like, okay, this is election year. It's been going on. It's been going on before the election. Uh, the numbers when number 45, when Trump was in there, they did escalate a little bit, and that's why he started taking a stand, and everybody fought tooth and nail against him. And then all of a sudden, now everybody's spinning this thing. Everyone is spinning this whole situation. And I think you're right, she's a wildflower. I truly think you're right. They want the Republicans, the Democrats, the Libertarians, everybody to be angry and pissed off so that we start fighting each other. That's exactly where they're taking us, is down this slippery path of fighting and crime and that we don't have, so we're going to take yours. And the next thing you know is that we're fighting amongst each other. And what do? We destroy ourselves. I think that, we are being gaslighted so much. It is like the total. It is. It's total.
The movie we watched the other day of the sniper out there.
Yeah.
That's what's going to wind up happening.
Yeah. They're mentally manipulating us into questioning our own sanity, our own country, our own power of reasoning. We see furries. They want us to live in fear. Think about all of it. They have so many things. They're manipulating us into questioning our own perception of reality. When, what was it? Less than a year ago, we watched as all the people were under the bridge. And we were all like, oh my goodness, that's a lot of people. And now they're spinning it and spinning it. And they want people so confused and so angry and so mad that we start fighting each other. Don't let them win, folks. Don't let them win. I care about each and every one of you. I care about this country. I served proudly in the military because I did care. But now, if they asked me to go back, would I go back? No. You know why? Because I think it's time that we all start caring about ourselves, caring about our families and our communities, and taking a stand in our own neighborhoods. Because trust and believe, they're coming to your neighborhood. If you live in a rural area or in a city, they're coming to your neighborhood. And when they come and they knock on your front door because they want to come in your house, then what? They want to come in your house. They're already trying to talk people into it nationwide. Let the illegals come in. Would you sleep comfortably at night knowing they're on your couch? And maybe if you let them in, you'll never get them out. And maybe that's what's happening in the United States is we've let them in and we'll never get them out. Because without a vetting program, without knowing who's coming across the border, what their intentions are, do you have a job? Do you have family here? Do you have friends here? Who are you? How do we lose 85,000 children? How do we lose 85,000 children within our own borders our children supposed to be coming here to be united with someone? Why would we let this happen? We have a lot to think about, folks. We have a news broadcast over at OTWP report tonight at 7 p.m. It's our Sunday night get together. A lot of different news. I'm sure we'll be touching on this also. If one of my mods or a few of you would drop the link to OTWP report, I'd really appreciate it. Y'all, keep your head on a swivel because things are popping off. We had another plant catch on fire. We have, only 3 illegals coming across Eagle Pass today. You should feel better. You should be able to sleep at night. They have our best interest at heart. You know, Lord help us. Lord help us. That's about the end of him. He said he didn't want to take questions after that question. He got really upset and angry and said, I don't want to take any more questions from you people. Let me out of here. You're asking me too many questions. Why do you have to ask me questions? I'm going to go have a hot cup of Java. I'm going to go and eat me a bowl of spaghetti. I hope each and every one of you keeps on doing the thing. You know, they're so full of shit. It's unbelievable. I don't know. If they really cared, why didn't they stop this a year ago, 2 years ago, 5 years ago? Why didn't they do it then? Why did they wait all this time to say, "Hey, we're here to help now. We're gonna help stop stuff." Please hit the thumbs up or the thumbs down if you can't stand me. If you can't stand me, that means I'm touching a nerve, and well, that's a good thing too. I hope that each and every one of you has a good night. If you're able to come over to OTWP Report tonight at 7 p.m., we would love to see you there. We will be talking about the crime report. And, well, is it and could it possibly be happening to all of us? Answer and think about that question yourself. As we always do at Off the Wall Prepper, we're going to take it on out the OTWP way. Keep your head on the swivel. Do the dang thing on a daily basis. Don't give up and don't give in now. You're welcome, Elaine. I love you all. You know I do. Yep, you're exactly right. Fisherman12, thanks for lurking up on in here. Melissa Bush, thanks for being here. Elaine, Mama Flores, and all of you wonderful people. I really, truly appreciate you. I hope I didn't miss anybody in the chat, but I probably did. But this goes out to each and every one of you because, well, we know. We know. Oh, hey, what happened to my music? I got rid of my music. I got rid of that music because we were broke. Well, maybe I could get a $5,000 Visa card or something. Maybe I could. I don't know. Do you think they'll give me a $5,000 Visa card? I'm just asking for a friend. 9,000. Well, 9,000 even sounds better. With 9,000, well, I could definitely do something. This song really sets well, like with what's going on. It's been hard in America, and it's going to get harder. And things are changing. Things are going to be different. Well, they're different. Oh shit, they're different. I never imagined that we would be on here talking about the things that we're talking about right now. but it has been hard in America, and we're all feeling it financially. We've watched people perish over the last few years, and you know, don't give up, don't give in. And this goes out to each and every one of you. Listen to the words. Um, it really, it really sets with me. Hard in America, and this is by Gabriel Kelly.